Photoshop has an amazing new filter in the field of photo restoration.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get
The results you can get can be quite amazing. I'm going to show you a very simple edit that I did here. This is the original image, and as you can see, it's a somewhat low resolution image of a ballerina. Look at the face. Look at how the face just dances with detail. We also lose some of the blemishes around the edges, around the background of the image. I can demonstrate the photograph. I can demonstrate using this photograph. I can demonstrate the filter, maybe with a little bit more something. It works better with larger images, and I've got here a full-size image of this fairly well-known portrait by Dorothea Lange, and this woman, or Dorothea Lange, this woman is a destitute pea picker in the 1930s Depression in the United States. Very well-known photo. You've probably not seen it looking like this. Let's go ahead and just crop it a little bit because we want to use the AI to do the photo restoration. If you've seen it in the past, it's probably been, let's just apply the crop tool. If you've seen it in the past, it's probably been touched up by a human being, but in reality, this is what it looks like before it's been touched up. It's not perfect, but we can use the AI to try to improve it. In the neural filters, there is a new filter called photo restoration, and it seems to really work in the field of what's known as super-resolution. Now, I'm going to talk about the filter, but I won't go into the details of super-resolution. If you want to know more about super-resolution, I'll have a link to a video that I did. It features Lightroom, and it shows you how Lightroom uses super-resolution to improve image size. Let's turn on the filter, and by default, it will apply an edit to the face. So it is focused on the face, and it does enhance the face much more than it does other parts of the image. You can probably see that around here where the image originally was maybe even a little bit clearer before it was edited. However, around the face, I think we do see a little bit more in the way of clarity in the face. There is this scratch here, but fortunately we've got the scratch reduction filter, so we can apply that and see what it does. Now, the filter works better on larger images. So although you like things to be nice and quick, we all do, it does tend to work best when you have that larger image and you have more detail for it to process. So I had to pause there a little bit, but you can see now the scratch is gone. There is another way of tackling scratches. There is a bit more. There are some options we could apply to edit the image if we wanted to, but we'll maybe take a look at those in another video. Let's just zoom in and look at this image here. This is larger than 100%, but we can actually go back down to about 100. That's at 100%. You can see the image has been pretty radically changed. There's a lot more detail, particularly around the face. And if we zoom in around this area, there is, after we've applied the filter, I would say there's less detail. Let's go ahead and just hit the apply button. And it will actually output to a new layer, which is the option that I chose there. So this is the result, that's the before, and that's the after. You can see that's quite a stunning difference. Now, there are other filters that we can use as well inside of the neural filters that could help us to further enhance the image. We could use Colorize, which will add a bit of color. Now, I've covered Colorize before, and I'll have a link to that video in the description. I think I covered it maybe in Photoshop Elements rather than in Photoshop, but I'll link to that in the description below. You can see that automatically adds a bit of color, and there are some options that we could use there. There is another option which we're going to take a look at, which is Super Zoom. Super Zoom will increase the size of the image. Now, in the past, Super Zoom would increase only one part of the image. With this new they've changed it, they've improved it so that it will actually work on the entire image. It will zoom in the entire image. It will create an image 4 times as large. That new feature is pretty spectacular in terms of its performance. However, it does use a lot of system resources, and for all of these filters, it is very, very helpful if you're working with a large image, if you have a powerful graphics processor. And I've got an RTX 3070, which does a really, really decent job in speeding things up. If we output to a new document, we'll take a look at that new document. And here we are. We've got the new document. It is huge. It's a huge image now. And we could repeat that if we wanted to. So this is super resolution in Photoshop in 2022. It's amazing in terms of what it can actually do. Now, if you're looking for humans to do your photo editing and photo restoration, Fiverr has got a range of services that you can purchase. Of course, everyone knows that this is a website where you'll find freelancers who do a whole range of photo editing tasks. Now, as well as the traditional freelancers that you find on Fiverr, the website also has a number of professional, pro-level artists who are selected for the quality of their work, and they do cost quite a bit more, but if you want guaranteed high quality work, you can get it now with their pro service. I'll have a link to these services in the description. Now, I have a couple of other examples which shows you some of the capabilities and limitations of the filter. This guy here, look at this. This is the before, this is the after. We've removed quite a lot of muck and gunk. This is the original image. The original image does have a decent looking color though, so we would need to edit the color back in again, but we've lost quite a lot of gunk and nonsense around the face. This is another very interesting edit that I did. You've got this woman here on a bike, and this is Ellen Dutroux, who was a very famous cyclist from Belgium, and she also rode planes, was one of the first people to ride planes. She is on a bike here, and you can see what's happened with her face. It's absolutely amazing the amount of detail that this has managed to put in there. There's also a feature for reducing halftone patterns, and I've applied that, and you can see the halftone patterns in this image are reduced somewhat, but the face, look at the face. It's kind of amazing what is done with the face. It has got this tendency, however, to do things with the face that just aren't really matched up in the rest of the image, and it's early days yet with this filter, so perhaps it may improve. But who knows, maybe humans are still useful for something. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you found some of that useful. I would like to know what you think about this technology and what it's capable of. Do you think it will be enough at some point to replace humans? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think it's just not reliable enough to be able to replace a good human artist? Let me know in the description down below. I will see you guys in a future video.